So I've just got back from going to London and going to Parliament to listen to a review on eating disorders. So basically, a few years ago, 3 people with eating disorders died in treatment because of bad treatment and just services for eating disorders. So a report was written on this and about recommendations which the government and just general policy needs to do to improve eating disorder treatment to prevent deaths like this happening again. And the eating disorder charity BEAT invited me to come along and listen to this review, and it was really interesting. One of the key points that was highlighted was the lack of training on eating disorders for training doctors. So across all medical schools, on average, there is less than 2 hours of training on eating disorders. That's across the whole 6 years of doctors training. They have less than 2 hours on eating disorders, and some universities even they don't talk about eating disorders at all. So they were talking today about how this needs to change, but then the but the bodies that are responsible for ensuring that this will happen are kind of shirking responsibility away from themselves and not really giving definitive answers, which is really poor from them. So BEAT are campaigning to increase eating disorders training for doctors, people who are training to be doctors. There was also a lot of talk on eating disorder treatment being a postcode lottery. So depending on where you live in the country, depends on what services there are to offer, which I know is very real because I'm one of those people that lives in an area where there aren't specialist eating disorder doctors, so you don't ever get to see one, which is just ridiculous. Because if it was a physical problem, if you have a physical problem with your heart or something, you would go and see the specialist doctor in that area. But this doesn't happen with mental health. So they were discussing how this needs to change, but the government were very elusive as to how this would happen. NHS England did show signs of being very positive and trying to take positive action. So they're looking to try and implement waiting times for adult eating disorder services, so that there is a definitive waiting time between being referred for treatment and getting that treatment, because currently there is no time span. You could wait years before you get any treatment, but they want to introduce waiting times. And there are plans in the background to improve services for eating disorders. So it was a really informative, interesting morning. Well, it's morning and afternoon. I've been walking home. I'm actually looking to put a campaign together myself for a particular element of eating disorders, so I'm working on that generally in the background. So hopefully I'll be making progress with that soon. Today has really inspired me to get cracking on with it. So yep, that has been what's the date? Tuesday the 14th of May. This has been my Tuesday, and we'll see what happens the rest of the week. And I meant to film yesterday when I finished work on my way to Pilates, to say I'm on my way to Pilates, which I did yesterday evening. And I also wanted to say that I wanted to add a comment to what I spoke about after the day in Parliament with BEAT and listening to the report on improving treatments for eating disorders, because I wanted to say at the end of the meeting, the chair of the panel came over to speak to myself and the other people from BEAT that were there, and there was another girl there like myself who is a campaigner for BEAT, and the chair of the panel asked us what we thought of the meeting, and I said, I thought it was really good, it was really interesting. And then he turned to this other girl and said, what did you think? And she started talking very articulately about the meeting, what she thought of it, and I just thought, why can't I talk like that? Why can't I give an answer like that rather than just say, oh, it was interesting, yeah, it was really good? Why can't I be more articulate and just speak better? So I was annoyed with myself after that. Like, it had been a really good day, a really good morning in Parliament, but then I was just so frustrated that I just feel I'm not very good at talking, which I know I've spoken about on my videos before, and even with my videos especially, I feel like I'm rubbish at talking in them. But yeah, I just wanted to add that as my comment to the beat thing. So yeah, that was from Tuesday. So I'm on my way home from work. It's Thursday the 16th of May. So this is my second week at work, and actually I've had a really good day today. I was learning a lot of new stuff on the computer and doing the access to records, so yeah, it was a really good day. Although, again, one of the members of staff, they were talking about being on a diet, and they said, oh, you keep so slim, how do you do it? And I was just like, if only you knew. And I was like, oh, I just, you know, I watch what I eat, and I always think I don't know what to say in those situations, but there we go. The people are really nice. It's just one of those things people talk about, isn't it? But yeah, it's been a good day, and going back to work tomorrow, last day of the week, and yeah, good day. So I've just got home from work, had a really good day today actually. I was chatting a lot more to the people, and I had a really, really good day. I really enjoyed it. And so I've just quickly got ready because I'm going out for dinner in London with one of my best friends, Celine, and I've got my favourite jumper on. You're the Mary Kate to my Ashley, because I do love Mary Kate and Ashley, always have, always will. So yeah, going out for dinner, Bella Italia in London in Baker Street. I've only been to Bella Italia once, and that was a few years ago with Celine. So yeah, should be a good night. So it's Friday the 17th of May, and I've just got back from dinner with my best friend Celine in London. I had a really, really nice evening. We were chatting away. I had tried a new meal which I've never had before. It was chicken on like a bed of lentils and mushrooms and tomatoes in like a ragu sauce. It was really, really nice. And then afterwards we both had a peppermint tea, and I've never had peppermint tea before, so I branched out. I tried it. Don't know how many calories are in peppermint tea, but I'm not gonna look it up either. I'm just gonna have it. And yeah, it was a really lovely evening, and I love the fact that I now have Celine and Elena in my life to just have friends and do things with, because anorexia is no substitute for friends. And I meant to say, I was going out, as you know, I went out for dinner tonight, and normally whenever I go out for dinner I don't eat anything during the day because I just have what I have when I go out for dinner and then an evening snack. But today I thought, no, Rebecca, you need to keep challenging yourself and pushing forward in your recovery. So I ate a small cereal bar at lunchtime, as well as eating my dinner out, and now going to have an evening snack. So a big step forward for me, because I would normally never be able to eat during the day if I was eating out at dinner, but I'm going to keep on progressing my recovery, and I really hope you can just keep on challenging yourself, because you can do it. You just have to fight really, really hard and believe in yourself, because you can do it. I'm at the athletics at Loughborough with my mum. We're just watching the 400 metre hurdle races, which is the event I used to do back in the day as a teenager. We're having a really good day here, watching all the athletics. And here is Harry French Cedar Lodge, my halls of residence where I stayed for my first year. I was in round the back at the top at room 17, Cedar Lodge. Really good. Flat of 8 girls, really nice girls. I had a great time here, but also was where anorexia really, really grew strongly and entered my life, and is still here now, but obviously not in the same strength that it was when I was here living in Cedar Lodge. So here's Paget Street. I think we were number 4, but I can't remember exactly. This is where I was meant to live in my second year of uni, which I never got to because I had to go to hospital. So yeah, that was down that road was where I was meant to be living, but my mum still had to pay the rent for the year because we'd already signed the contract. So me and my mum have just got back from our weekend away at Loughborough to watch the athletics. Had a really good time. I love watching athletics. If you know about me, you'll know that I spent my teenage years living athletics. It's what I did. I loved it. And I did have a dream of becoming a professional athlete, which I hoped would have happened when I went away to Loughborough University. However, instead of becoming a professional athlete, I became a professional anorexic, and the dream didn't happen, and I ended up living the nightmare. So whilst I did have a great time back at Loughborough watching the athletics, it does have a sadness inside me thinking about when I used to be there, what my hopes and dreams had been, what could have been had my life taken a different route, had anorexia not taken a hold of me and sent me down the nightmare path that it did. It is sad, but you can't change what happened. It did happen, so now I just got to make the most of the future and not regret anymore. So hopefully, if you're out there, keep chasing your dreams, whatever they are. Don't let anorexia stop you doing anything. For anybody out there, don't let anything stop you doing anything. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything. Keep fighting for your dreams, keep believing, and keep positive. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.